Stop what you are doing, because what God is about to tell you is going to change the way you see everything, your past, your present, and especially what is about to happen next. You think you know where this is going. You think you have a sense of what the next chapter looks like. You have been praying about it, believing for it, building toward it. But what God is about to release is so far beyond what you have been imagining that if He showed you right now, all at once, you would not be able to process it. And that is not an exaggeration. That is a warning to prepare yourself for something your mind has not yet built the category for. You have no idea what is coming, and that is not a problem. It is the point. Why you cannot fully see it yet, because what God is preparing is not an extension of your current reality. It is a complete departure from it. Everything you have been believing for has been within the boundaries of what you could imagine, based on where you currently are, based on what you have seen before, based on what feels possible from where you are standing. But God does not work within the boundaries of your imagination. He works within the boundaries of His own, which have no limits. And what He is building for your next chapter exists outside every box you have ever thought inside, outside every ceiling you have ever bumped against, outside every version of your future you have ever allowed yourself to fully believe was actually possible for someone like you. That is why you cannot see it yet. Not because it is not real, because it is too real, too large, too specific, too perfectly designed for your limited current vantage point to fully contain. What the final step actually means. You have been on a journey that most people quit long before reaching this point. Every season you survived was a step. Every test you passed was a step. Every person you released, every door you walked away from, every moment you chose faith when fear was the easier option was a step. And those steps, as painful as some of them were, as confusing as others felt, were leading somewhere. Specifically, precisely, intentionally, to this, the final step before everything changes. The final step is not the biggest step. It is the most significant one, because it is the one that bridges everything you have been and everything you are about to become. It is the step that crosses the threshold between the season of preparation and the season of manifestation, between the season of becoming and the season of being, between everything God was building in you and everything God is about to build through you. This is that step, and you are standing right at it. What has been happening to prepare you for this moment? God has been working on you in layers. The outer layers first, the obvious things, the behaviors that needed to change, the relationships that needed to end, the habits that needed to be broken. Then the middle layers, the mindsets, the belief systems, the agreements you made about what was possible for your life that were limiting what God could do. Then the deep layers, the identity wounds, the core beliefs about your worth, your lovability, your right to receive, what God had been trying to give for a long time. All of those layers have been addressed, not perfectly, not completely, but enough for this moment, for this final step. And what is on the other side of it does not require your perfection. It requires your presence, your willingness, your yes to the version of yourself God finished building through every layer He worked through to get you here. What the enemy knows about this moment, he knows what the final step means better than you do. He has been watching the whole journey, tracking every step, calculating the distance between where you were and where you are now. And He knows that you are close, closer than you realize to crossing the threshold that changes everything. And He is more desperate now than He has been at any other point in your journey, because desperate enemies do desperate things. He is going to try one more time to stop you before you take the final step. He is going to use everything He has left: old wounds, old fears, old voices, old memories, old versions of stories about who you are and what you are capable of. He is going to make the final step look bigger than it is, more dangerous than it is, more uncertain than it is, more costly than it is. He is going to tell you that you are not ready, that you never were, that everything you think God has been building was an illusion. Do not believe Him. He is not speaking from knowledge. He is speaking from desperation, and desperation lies more convincingly than confidence ever does. What the final step requires from you? It requires you to move past the last layer of fear that has been standing between you and everything that is next. Not the absence of fear, movement in spite of it. Because the final step is rarely the most comfortable one. It is the most courageous one. The one that requires everything the journey built in you to be activated simultaneously. The faith, the courage, the trust, the surrender, the willingness to step into what you cannot yet fully see, because God said, "Go," and that is enough. It requires you to release the last thing you have been holding that belongs to the old season. You know what it is. You have known for a while, but releasing it felt like losing something, when actually, releasing it is the final act that opens your hands wide enough to receive what is coming. What you release in this moment is not a loss. It is a trade, giving God what was temporary so He can give you what is permanent. Make the trade. It requires you to say yes one more time to God, to the assignment, to the version of yourself that the whole journey was building toward. Say it out loud. Yes, God, I am ready. I do not know what is coming, but I trust the one who is sending it, and I am taking the final step. What God is doing right now, in this exact moment, as you read this, God is finalizing what He has been building for this season of your life. He is making last preparations for what is about to be released. He is positioning people who carry pieces of your next chapter in the exact places where your path is about to cross theirs. He is opening doors that will appear suddenly in directions you were not watching. He is releasing resources that were held for this specific moment, for this specific version of you that only exists now because of everything you went through to get here. He is preparing a moment that will be so clearly God, so undeniably orchestrated, so perfectly timed, that all you will be able to say when it arrives is only God. Only God could have done this, and you will be right, because only God was building this the whole time. While you were surviving the journey, He was preparing the destination, and it is ready, and so are you. What you have no idea is coming. Relationships so genuinely aligned, so specifically designed for who you have become through this journey, that the loneliness of every previous season will make complete sense. Because you could not have been ready for these people any earlier. You needed to become who you are now to receive what they carry, and to give what they need. Opportunities that have been waiting in a kind of divine suspension for the version of you that only exists now after everything the journey produced. opportunities so specifically suited to the gifts the fire refined that they could not have been received by any earlier version of you. Only this one, the one standing here at the final step. Provision at a level that redefines what you thought was possible, financially, physically, spiritually, that makes the seasons of barely enough look like ancient history, that funds not just your present but your legacy and the legacies of those who come after you. Purpose at full activation, the complete version of what God placed inside you, finally finding its full expression in work that matters, in impact that lasts, in a life that leaves something behind that no one can take away because it was built by God, through someone who refused to stop at any of the previous steps and took the final one. A word for the one standing at the edge. You can feel it, the weight of the moment, the significance of where you are standing, the pull between the familiar behind you and the unknown ahead, and everything in you is processing simultaneously the excitement and the fear, the faith and the doubt, the readiness and the feeling that you could never be ready enough for something this significant. This is the edge where every chosen one stands before everything changes. This is the moment that separates the ones who step forward from the ones who step back into the comfort of the familiar that was never meant to be permanent. God is standing on the other side of the edge, saying the same thing he has always said. I am here. I went before you. I prepared what is on this side, and I will not let you fall. Trust me one more time. Take the step, because what is here on this side of the final step is everything I promised and everything you survived to receive. Final word. You have no idea what is coming. And that is exactly how God designed it. Because what is coming is beyond what you have allowed yourself to imagine, beyond what your current vantage point can fully contain, beyond every ceiling you ever bumped against, every limitation you ever accepted, every version of your future that felt like the best you could hope for. What is coming is better than all of it, more specific than all of it, more perfectly designed for exactly who you are now, after everything the journey produced, than anything you could have asked for at any earlier point. This is the final step. You are standing at it, and God is waiting on the other side of it with everything he has been building since before you were born. Take the step. You are ready. You were always going to be ready at this moment for this step, for this everything that you have absolutely no idea is about to change your life. Completely, permanently, in ways that leave you speechless and grateful for every single step that led here. In the comments, write, I am taking the final step and I trust God completely. Or the number 1111, or I have no idea what is coming, but God does, and that is enough. Subscribe and stay close. Chosen one, you have no idea what is coming, but God does, and he has been building it with you specifically in mind since before you knew you were going to need it. Take the step. It is time. Amen.